Posting videos on YouTube completely changed my life in just 30 days. So in this video, I'm gonna explain to you why that happened and how you can do it for yourself too. But for this to make sense, we have to go back 7 years to 2019. My entire life, I'd always wanted to be a YouTube creator. And over the last few years leading up to that point, I'd been trying different things. But really none of that ever stuck, and I was never consistent enough with it to see any results. It was always just sort of a side project I did for fun. And so now that we're in 2019, there was a lot happening in my life. I was experiencing a lot of changes by moving to a new city. So I decided I wanted to document the things that were happening in my life and share them with the world. YouTube was almost like a journal. It wasn't really much to it other than that. And so over the next 2 or so years, I basically just kept building up different skills and trying different things. I tried reselling video games on eBay. I tried reselling furniture on Facebook Marketplace. I even tried Amazon FBA at one point and drop shipping as well. I started a podcast about creative work. I made videos about different YouTube creators. I was experimenting hard over the next 2 years. And I'm not gonna lie, there was some great things that came from that experimentation and that testing. I'd landed a full-time job doing creative work for local businesses, which was really fun. I was able to do my passion every single day. But deep down, I knew I wanted more. And I kept trying to build something real for myself. But it felt like no matter how hard I tried and no matter what I did, I always ended up stuck. And eventually that led to a tipping point. Now, for a long time trying all those things, I was having a lot of fun and I felt like really confident that each failure was gonna lead me into something bigger. But at the end of the day, I hadn't made any progress in 2 years other than my full-time job, and I felt really stuck. It all came to a head in 2021 when I was dead broke. In fact, I was $30,000 in debt and I needed to pay for a $1,000 car repair. I had no money. I had no idea what I was gonna do. Every side hustle I'd tried to make extra money wasn't working. Everything that I was doing to try and fix this problem that I was building was completely failing. And even through YouTube, documenting what I was sharing, I'd built up 300 subscribers over 7 years. I remember that night very clearly. It was 2 a.m. I was on my computer trying to find some way to fix the problem that I was in, and I felt lost. I felt like a total failure, to be honest with you. But the next week, I realized that I needed to make a change. If I was at this low moment, I needed to do something that would get me moving forward, that would propel me towards where I wanted to be. And I came back to that dream of being a YouTube creator and building my own audience. The fact of the matter was, whether I'd seen success or not, I'd made a ton of YouTube videos over the last few years and I'd built up the skill. I was starting to learn about thumbnails, about titles, about retention, and I was getting pretty confident in my editing as well. And then I had a moment where everything clicked. There's YouTube creators who are posting videos who need their videos edited. If I could just help them to edit their videos, I'd be able to make money on the side and learn about YouTube, learn what was gonna grow my own channel. So I came up with a list of like 300 different YouTube creators who were in like the business or finance or just self-improvement niches that I loved to watch content in. And I found their emails and I was gonna reach out to them with this like super finely tuned cold email, right? So I sent out a bunch of emails and I didn't really hear back from many of them, but I did hear back from one. It was a creator named Brian Jung. He made finance content, mostly around crypto, but he was posting every day and growing really fast. So he was looking for some help with his edits. I wanted to try and wow him, right? To show him what I could do. So I offered a free trial edit and he accepted. So like it's May of 2021, a few months after this low moment, right? And I have a project that I'm editing. It's a video about the top crypto picks that he had for the year. And so what I did is I went home after work, got home at like 6 p.m. I ate dinner and I edited that video from 7 p.m. till like 3 or 4 in the morning on my busted computer to make sure that he was super impressed and that he would want to work with me again. That video went on to get over 1 million views, and that's what started my relationship working with Brian, editing more videos for him. But it wasn't until 2022 when everything completely changed. In March of 2022, Brian was looking to find someone who could be a full-time editor. And I remember that I'd been editing videos for him for about like 8 or 9 months at this point, but he ended up picking me and hiring me to be his full-time video editor. Now, at this point, I realized that I had an opportunity to really understand YouTube, to really go in depth and learn what worked on this platform. So in the first 3 months of working for Brian, I was studying analytics, writing reports about what we could do next, helping to script videos. I wasn't just his video editor, I was helping out wherever I could. So after about 4 months of working for Brian, that leads us to month one that completely changed my life. July of 2022. After about 4 months of learning this platform, after about a year of studying everything that worked, I was finally going to try for myself again, to build a channel for myself. Now, I've been learning a lot about content creation, and I'd been learning a lot about what creators were doing, so I was gonna talk about other creators and their back-end strategy. I decided that in July, I was gonna post a short every day to force myself to stay consistent enough that I can see results. And so I started writing. I started putting together as many shorts as I could, finding as many interesting topics. I was talking about Ryan Trahan, Mr. Beast, I was talking about Ray William Johnson, all these different creators, and everything I could think of that would be valuable or interesting for the audience, I was gonna test it out. The videos that worked, I was gonna turn into long form, and that's how I was gonna build up my YouTube channel. That was the strategy I had. Now remember, I had 350 subs at this point. My channel was small, so I wasn't expecting a lot. But that's when things changed. The first few days were slow. I only got a couple hundred views per day. But on the 3rd of July, I saw some traction. One of my shorts was picking up and I got almost 2,000 views in a single day. So I went back to the first 3. What had worked? What were people engaging with? What did they enjoy? What was the retention graph saying? I was starting to study it. So then I kept posting. Day 3, 4, 5, 6. On day 6, oh my gosh, I got 4,000 views. The 7th, I got 6,000 views. By the 10th, I got 10,000 views in a single day. This consistency and this dedication to posting about one thing was really starting to pay off. And I guess I can rip off the Band-Aid. Within 1 month, my channel went from 300 subscribers to over 17,000. All of that fear that I'd felt the year before, all of the doubt and, the questioning of whether I was on the right path, it paid off when I committed to the one thing that I loved the most, to being the best I could be at YouTube. It was the payoff of years of learning and hard work that finally led to something down the line. And so over the rest of 2022, I kept posting within that same niche. I kept putting out very consistent shorts and very consistent long form videos. And I took my channel to 49,000 subscribers by the end of the year. To this day, I'm so proud of that work that I did, of all of the things that I put myself through, all the learning that I had in that year. It was the first time in my life that something had really clicked. And it only took one point of that happening for everything to change. Over the next few years, I became Brian's creative director, ultimately leading the channel and leading the production of the videos. I kept growing my channel to over 150,000 subscribers. I ended up leaving working for Brian, and instead I started doing YouTube strategy for other smaller creators to help them build as well. From that one decision point back in 2021, everything's changed because I stayed consistent, stayed dedicated, and even when times got tough, I've never given up. And in truth, through YouTube, I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last few years as well. And I'm incredibly grateful for that. But I promised that I was going to share some tips so that you can have YouTube grow and change your life as well. So these are the 5 most valuable lessons that I've learned over the last few years. Number 1, become a student. The thing that I'd been missing for so long was that I thought I knew what I needed to do. I thought I had the best pathway, but I wasn't really focused on learning. Becoming a student, becoming someone who was learning from every single mistake, every success, and everything I could find was what let me become the person who could have a YouTube channel that did well. Through working with Brian, I took every single thing that was happening as a lesson, and I tried to understand what it meant, how it could benefit my own channel, and how it could help to engage the audiences further. Everything that I heard or took in, I was a student to, and I kept trying to learn. Number 2, lean into your unfair advantages. Once I had learned a lot about YouTube, I knew it was my unfair advantage. Most people don't know the level of YouTube knowledge and strategy that I know. By leaning into that unfair advantage, I was able to find clients to edit for, to find clients to do strategy for, and just double down on the things I'd already built up. If I tried to start another side hustle reselling things right now, I guarantee it wouldn't work because that's not my unfair advantage. So lean into what makes you, what your special skill set is, and what makes you valuable to other people. Number 3, start before you're ready. This is the most important one by far because I'd been trying so many different things and starting so many different things before I was ready, except for YouTube. I never went fully in because I didn't feel ready. I didn't know enough. I didn't have enough clarity on my audience. I never went all in because I didn't feel ready. But the truth is, if you want to succeed on YouTube or really with anything, you have to start before it feels comfortable, before you're ready. Start before you feel like you know what to expect. That's the only way that you can succeed because let me tell you the honest truth. You'll never be ready if you wait for it. Number 4, stay disciplined. Again, this one's also really valuable, but you have to keep going. If things are going badly, you have to show up. If things are going well, you have to stay consistent and keep showing up. Don't get too excited and bask in the success. Your actions should remain consistent no matter what the outcomes are. Stay disciplined, keep showing up, don't stop. And number 5, leverage your results. Over the last few years, I've learned that every opportunity leads to another opportunity. Leverage what you've learned, what you've done, and what you've experienced to open up new doors for yourself. Keep exploring your different options and trying new things. Keep starting before you're ready, because I guarantee that that's what's going to lead you to exponential results. So anyways, with all that said, it's become my passion to share different lessons with other creators and help small creators to grow. So if you want more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be posting a lot more of these coming up. And if you want even more value, I send weekly newsletters to your inbox, which you can sign up for down below, sharing different strategies you can try as well. But in the meantime, you should check out this video right here where I show you the full pathway to going full-time on YouTube.